and you lose a guy like that, it's hard to stomach.
The best of both worlds lives right here. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Discount Liquor.
Did you know that George Washington served his own homemade version of eggnog made with rum, rye whiskey, and sherry? Well, a lot's changed since the days of our first president. But one constant has been celebrating the holiday season and upcoming new year with family, friends, and loved ones. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. 'Tis the season to check out Discount Liquor's tremendous selection of over 2,000 varieties of beer, 3,000 types of liquor, and over 8,000 wines from around the world. And yes, we do carry 8 varieties of ready-to-drink eggnog. Celebrate this most festive time with a great selection of beautifully packaged liquor gift sets, sure to make you the hit of the party or as a perfect gift for the liquor connoisseur on your shopping list. Discount Liquor, 2 locations in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma and in downtown Waukesha on Main and Barstow.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings. Discount Liquor.
See all of our weekly specials at discountliquorinc.com.
This is Brian Balaga. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN.
94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. The game is over.
They all suck. How about that?
And it's the day after.
Williams looking downfield, launching downfield, going for it all! It is caught! Bears win it! DJ Moore!
It doesn't matter. That's why it's so week to week. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I was proud of the way we played. I thought our guys competed. I thought we were physical. I thought there was a lot of good things we did, but ultimately we didn't close it out.
Let's react to the game and look ahead. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios. Here's Greg Matzik and Gary Ellerson.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome in. It's a Monday edition of Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday from the beautiful Potawatomi Sportsbook. Greg Matzik, happy to welcome back Gary Ellerson to our program here. Sadly, talking about another deflating loss here for the Green Bay Packers, but there is reason for optimism. We will get into all the reasons why over the next 2 hours. Come join us, will you? Potawatomi Sportsbook, the best place to watch sports in the state of Wisconsin. And interesting Monday night matchup, too, by the way. We'll detail the Colts and 49ers as we look ahead to the playoffs. Yes, because we can talk playoffs, Gary, and that's where I would love to start. We do have a little rehashing to do. I was annoyed watching the game on Saturday night, as I'm sure you were as well. All right, so a little gathering at a friend's house. You had 40, 50 people over, and separate rooms, and the TVs were not in sync. So if you were in one room, you're about a play ahead of the TV in the other room. Now, I stayed in the other room the majority of time. I don't know why. I just like to hear the roar from the other side telling me that a good thing is about to happen for the Green Bay Packers. And as that game wore on, as the game got closer and closer, the Bears inched back, Packers not able to get points on the board, onside kick, right? I mean, all the collection of things that happened down the stretch that ultimately resulted in that loss. It made me go to the other side of the room because I had to see it for myself before others told me what happened with their cheering, groaning, or whatever it was. Play well for 57 minutes, bravo. You throw the game away in 3 minutes, that's a gut punch.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I mean, that one of the few games that I've watched that absolutely just drained me. And I just really didn't have much to say afterwards, and I get paid to talk, so that's how crazy that game was. They just gave it away. It just gave it away on a silver platter. I mean, the Packers dominated that game, like you said, for over 3 quarters. Went into the fourth quarter, had a great game plan. They played well without Micah Parsons. I think that's what everybody wanted to see was Jeff Hafley. What will you do? How are you going to use your players? And I thought they all played well until they didn't play well. And if you look at the offense that made mistakes, I mean, to me, the Josh Jacobs fumble there on first down on about, 3 or 4 yard line, I think that hurt him tremendously. I thought moving forward, I thought the field goal in the beginning, I thought that Matt LaFleur should have taken the field goal.
Get your
right
points
away.
instead of getting stuffed on a 4th and short.
Because, Greg, right away, you knew it was going to be a game with few possessions. You knew you probably were only going to have maybe 8 possessions. So take the field goal. A lot of people say, well, no, Gary, he should have just ran Josh Jacobs. No, you take the 3 points because you're not going to score. Because you know what Chicago's going to do? They're going to maybe run the football and just use up the clock. So there just was a lot that went wrong. But when it started to go sideways for me was the Josh Jacobs fumble.
See, that was relatively early on. So early in that game, both teams sort of had their shot on 4th down in a situation where you very clearly could have taken the points. And the decision to go for it completely backfired on both teams, right? I mean, it was a very low percentage play to Christian Watson in the corner of the end zone. That never looked like it really had a shot. Run that on 3rd down, fine. But on 4th down, that felt very low percentage to me. That's your best option? And in the Bears situation, it's 4th and 1, and they try a cutesy little direct snap to Kyle Monangai through the legs of Cole Kmet. It goes over his head for an 18-yard loss. So instantly, you had a chippiness. There was an energy. Like, the place was on fire. And both teams kind of soiled themselves when rubber met the road on those 4th down plays. So I thought to myself, well, you're even now. You're even. You had the 4th down miscue. You could have taken points, and you're even. You both screwed up. But as the game wore on, I saw a Packers team that was seemingly dialed in on offense between the 20s. The team never punted, but they were 0 for 5 in the red zone, right? Like it is such a dramatic swing on the spectrum of competency and incompetency where they could not make it count. So therein lies the reason. I know a lot of people point to Romeo Doubs and the onside kick. Everybody remembers the onside kick.
Yeah.
And in the long list of things that went wrong, an onside kick is typically, when it goes bad, disproportionately ranked above every other play that happens in the NFL game that resulted in that loss. The Jacobs fumble. Malik Willis not handling the snap on a 4th down in overtime, right? You name it. A penalty that allowed the Bears drive to continue, personal foul, face mask, when he should have been able to get off the field on 3rd down, right? There's a long list. But disproportionately, Romeo Doubs is getting blamed for the loss. He made a mistake. He screwed up at a terrible time. Right. But add it to the list. It's all part of the list. Everything that we've talked about and more goes into what we witnessed.
And it's just so heartbreaking. Was that the Bears Super Bowl? Because that's what it feels like to me. I mean, I know we're not going there, but Bear fans are getting on my nerve right now. I mean, they really are. I mean, do you guys want to win the Super Bowl, or was that your Super Bowl? And maybe because we're not that fan base where we kind of been a Packer fan base is kind of weird and unique, and I was trying to explain this to people today, where you have to take everybody's best shot. And what I mean by that, well, for a minute it was the Minnesota Vikings, right? So you got Vikings fans all over you. You got Viking fans all over you. Then for a minute it was the Detroit Lions, right? They had their shot at us, and so for a couple of years, and now it's the Bear fans. They kind of come at us when they have a. I think at the end of the day, you may get another game at Soldier Field, so it's not over yet. So I think you got to look at the process. The process for the Green Bay Packers is that they played a horrible game. They were without a lot of their frontline starters, or if I could say B team. They were without frontline starters, and I thought they played really well. This is what I'm surprised of. This is a very talented team. Very good coaching staff. Matt LaFleur, Jeff Hafley. I know a lot of people don't like Bisaccia, and I don't necessarily care for him either, but I don't blame the Dobbs on Bisaccia. That a player got to make that play. But if you think about what Matt LaFleur has done with Malik Willis to get him to where he is right now, to be a threat and to win a ball game for you, I don't think he gets any credit for that. It was absolutely incredible. And for Matt LaFleur to get this team ready to play a game after signing your biggest free agent, I think, since Reggie White, and losing him and get these guys ready to play again. So I think the coaching staff was incredible. We should keep who we got. The players have got to make more plays, and that's what stopped them from winning this game. We don't even talk about the interception that Xavier McKinney should have had. Should have had it.
You bet.
So there were a lot of things I think that hurt us that was led by players more so than what the coaches did.
Jason Wilde is going to join us coming up at 6:30 because I do want to dive into the quarterback situation. We'll take a closer look at that because it could be a matchup of backups in Green Bay. Some believe that Malik Willis might actually be more of the long shot to play than Jordan Love, which might be interesting. And we also learned that the emergency backups are Josh Jacobs and Jaden Reed. And there's a dude on the practice squad who you just never heard of. I want to dive into the damage that loss caused the Green Bay Packers. Not the fan base and the trolling Bears fan bases who are good at trolling Packers fans. They know how to excite Packers fans.
They do.
So it's a little different.
But why?
Let me explain this real quick. Because there are people on our staff at Good Karma Brands who work in the state of Wisconsin who are very clearly fans of the Chicago Bears.
Okay.
They know how to needle Packers fans, right? The Bears have been successful enough, and believe me, there's been long stretches where they've not been successful in the last 20 years, but just enough that they know how to poke the proverbial bear of the Packers fans. They know how to get you, right? They know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Lions fans are different. They ain't tasted success in so long that they come out of the woodwork when the team is at or near the top of the division.
Right. But you didn't even know they were Lions fans. Right?
No, exactly. Right, because it'd be so damn embarrassing to be a Lions fan.
Yeah, trust me.
Because it's been a historically embarrassing franchise.
Yeah, I played for them, trust me.
So now they're sinking back into the weeds like Homer Simpson, right? Just back up, back up. Sorry about that.
I can picture that.
Right, they just don't know how to handle success. Lions fans are the worst in the division. The worst. But the Bears are the best at needling Packers
What about
fans.
Vikings?
Vikings fans this year particularly insignificant because the team is bad.
But when they were good. 2 years ago. That was just 2 years ago now.
Comparable.
If you think about it.
I find that with the Bears succeeding, there is more needling than when the Vikings were a 14-win team a season ago. But the Lions will never win a game of substance in the postseason with Dan Campbell as their head coach. They will never win a Super Bowl with him.
Well,
ever.
Don't you feel the same way about Ben Johnson?
I don't know enough about that yet.
So I feel like it's the same thing.
But he's got
Ben
a little
Johnson's
more governor to him.
Well, he's the smartest guy in the room. How do you come up with a play like that on fourth down? Goal to go. How do you come up with that play and think it's a great play? That was straight out of Dan Campbell's book. How does that? Okay, I'm gonna bring the tight end in, motion him in, but you gotta hold your legs real wide now so we can get the ball through there. We're gonna snap it through the center's leg, and then it's got to go through the tight end's leg, and then we got to get it to the running back that's 15 yards. Who thought of that?
I believe that was a play right out of Forrest Gregg's playbook when you played.
Forrest would never do anything like that.
No, that was never in the playbook.
Never.
No, direct snap to Ellerson.
We're going to just run over somebody. He
Through
would
Paul
never
Kaufman's legs.
Never. It's a handoff, and maybe we don't block everybody we're supposed to block because somebody's going to get hurt. But we would never do anything of that substance. And to me, that's straight out of Dan Campbell's book. It's just always the smartest guy in the room. So I don't have a whole lot of confidence in Ben Johnson and that he'll get it done. He should be running the football, right? If you are a Chicago Bears fan, offensively, you probably got one of the better offensive line in the game. You got the two best running backs in the game. You got a quarterback that's pretty mobile. Run the doggone football. What's the problem? I think if the Bears stick to the game plan, they could beat us easily if they wanted to. But they don't. They get sidetracked. And that's the problem with the Chicago Bears.
Pretty decent chance that these teams meet again in the postseason. We'll go through some of those scenarios coming up. What you need to know is this. The Packers have about a 10% chance of winning the NFC North. They need to win out and have the Bears lose their final two games.
And that could
San
happen.
Francisco, by the way, and against Detroit.
Yeah.
And Detroit looks a little more on the outside looking in. Well, they are technically on the outside looking in, but they've not been mathematically eliminated yet. Mm-hmm. So that final game could be meaningful. We shall see, though if the Packers win on Saturday, then Detroit's season is over.
Right.
San Francisco may have a lot to play for.
We're
battling
seeding.
It out with Seattle
It's
right
seeding.
now.
Yeah.
Seeding, all that, right? So plenty in play there for San Francisco. Packers have a 93% chance of qualifying for the postseason. One win or one Lions loss the rest of the way. locks in at least the number 7 seed for the Green Bay Packers. Coming up on the other side, a deeper dive into the quarterback situation. This will be very interesting to watch. The storyline in Green Bay this week, no longer about the Bears game, no longer about that loss. It is who will be under center Saturday night against the Baltimore Ravens. We'll go through it. We'll hear from Malik, Willis, and Matt LaFleur right after this. Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday.
More football talk coming up next. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. With Wilde and Tausch, you won't miss a play.
Nobody should be writing the season off. The idea of being one of the top teams without 2 of your best players is a big reach. But this is a season that you can find ways to do it.
Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
You think anybody ever feels sorry for the Green Bay Packers? They don't. And they shouldn't. And you shouldn't.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN. ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
This game is once in a century. Be there at Fiserv Forum on December 26th. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com for your tickets to the 100-year tour.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Ha-ha, yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
When you're injured, you want quick, specialized care, not a long ER wait. The orthopedic care specialists at Ortho ASAP treat fractures, sprains, strains, sports injuries, and more right away. With on-site x-rays and expert care, Ortho ASAP gets you back on track faster. Open 7 days a week with locations in Brookfield and Pewaukee, it's more affordable than the ER. Walk in, get treated, and get back to life. Ortho ASAP. There is a difference. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats.
And free groceries.
Okay, just calm down. We'll get to that later.
Stay tuned in right here to score free groceries.
Stop, please.
Okay, I'm shutting up. My lip is zipped.
Let's get to this week's specials at Century Foods.
Now through Wednesday, save on 10 to 20 count selective varieties, hefty storage or freezer bags, 2 for $4. 8 to 13.1 ounce selective varieties, Old Dutch Crunch, Ripple, Potato, or Tortilla chips, 2 for $5.50. 24.5 ounce selective varieties, Welch's Sparkling Juice, $3.49. 12 to 36 count selective varieties, Rhodes Dinner or Cinnamon Rolls, $3.99.
And now time for the big reveal. Free groceries.
2 over the top.
Free from Century Foods.
Forget it. I'll handle the rest. Enter to win $500 worth of free groceries on Century's Facebook or Instagram by December 31st.
This winter, upgrade your home and your savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows, roofing, siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Get it done now and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our biggest year-end blowout. Call 262-800-4274 or head to extpros.com. Don't wait. These holiday savings melt away fast. Exterior Pros and Baths. Your home upgraded for the holidays.
Right now, more than 100,000 children waiting in foster care need our help. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is focused on finding them safe, permanent homes. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video. Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN.
They do have a dude on the practice squad who you've never heard of, and they also have emergency quarterbacks, we learned, Josh Jacobs and Jaden Reed. So that's the quarterback situation right now, unless, I don't know, Ryan Tannehill flies back from wherever he's living in Florida or the Bahamas to be a part of the roster in Green Bay. I don't think that's going to happen, but that's kind of where we're at, as we're about to watch Phillip Rivers go under center for the Indianapolis Colts. First things first, the concussion protocol. Here's what Matt LaFleur had to say about Jordan working his way through the protocol.
I would say, yeah, you might have a educated guess, but in terms of that's always a tough one to navigate. There's a lot of steps to getting through that. But I do think just my conversations with people, I have not specifically talked to him today, but it sounded like he was doing better.
Okay, so what does that exactly mean? I still think you got to read through the lines there a little bit, Gary. But you know, Jordan Love comes out of the game, takes a pretty nasty hit, goes to the blue tent, and at that point, I'm not overly worried. But when he starts walking to the locker room, I'm thinking he's done. Not only for the night, but my first thought is he will not play next week against the Baltimore Ravens. It is such a wild card. You have no idea how any individual is going to respond with a concussion, and if they'll be able to get through the protocol. But I would say it's probably more common than not for somebody who leaves the game with a concussion to sit out the following week versus being on the field under center, in this case, the following week. I don't know how to read this. I'm just going by what I've seen throughout the course of time in the NFL. Concussion, out, on the field that next week, that's a tough putt.
Yeah, there were no such thing when I played.
You played?
Yeah, we played.
You just did it.
I mean, we go in the locker room, Greg, when I first got there, and the guys would say, hey, you know, if you get your bell rung, is what we call it, and Doc came out, and he asked you how many fingers you see, just if you can remember, it's always going to be 2. So whenever we got our bell rung, Doc came out, he said, how many fingers you see? 2. So if you could just think of it's always going to be 2. It's never going to be 3, never going to be 1. And that was the concussion protocol. 2. What gave it away with Jordan Love for me is the no helmet. Because when you see him walk on the sideline with no helmet, you know that they're not going to go in the game. I would say for Jordan Love, what he has going for him is that we haven't seen him have a lot of concussions. So when you don't have a lot of them and it's not as frequent, I think he has a better chance of probably passing. I have no idea what the protocols are, but he has a better idea of passing those protocols. And the Packers played it safe. They got him out of there. And let me say this, Greg, and just me. From a guy who played in the 80s and when you didn't have concussions, that was a deliberate hit by the Chicago Bears. Whether they say he ducked his head or not, I call that, or we used to call that, spearing. He led with the crown of his helmet. So let's just say that Jordan Love didn't duck his head. He'd have hit Jordan Love in his neck with his helmet. He led with his, he should be suspended, and it should be a fine. I know what it looks like, and that's what it looks like to me. I think the whole game that the Bears were kind of amped up, and they play what we call, they play for keeps. The Chicago Bears played that game like we would have played it in the 80s. The whole stuff with your heaters don't work, that's the petty crap we used to do in the 80s. Heater don't work, but yours working out doesn't. And they had that kind of mindset you felt going in. What was it? Was it the elbow to Malik Willis? Come on, that was egregious. That should. So they had. So hopefully the next time the Packers, if there is a next time, you got to know going in, this is what Ben Johnson, this is what they're teaching, this is how they're going at this rivalry. We got to match that intensity. I didn't feel like, as from a Packers team, that we didn't know what we were stepping into. To me, it felt like an old throwback game where it was going to be physical, and we were going to do, the Bears, do anything necessary to win this game. And I don't think we met the challenge.
In watching the playoffs, the year the Packers went to the Super Bowl, playing a game in Chicago, NFC Championship game, an indelible image in my mind is a dejected, pathetic Jay Cutler sitting on the sidelines when it felt like he probably should have been in the game, closing that game out, still had a chance to win. Nothing stood in the way of the Packers and going to the Super Bowl other than Caleb Haney. This was not a similar situation that played out on Saturday night in Chicago. Jordan Love leaves the game. Here comes Malik Willis. And instantly, because I'm conditioned to believe when Malik Willis comes into the game, there's an excitement factor about him, but there's also a calm about him.
Yes.
And I think that's what allows him to thrive in that situation. That was a hornet's nest that he stepped out on the field in the middle of that game, right? I mean, that was an absolute hornet's nest. And the guy's just not rattled. He's not a perfect quarterback.
No.
But he's really good in Matt LaFleur's system. They have turned him into a quarterback here. He left an awful organization in Tennessee that does not know how to develop quarterbacks very clearly.
Right.
And he comes to Green Bay and finds success. And hopefully for him, he's able to parlay that into something a little bit bigger and better. But when he stepped on that field, Gary, that's the people around me that said, oh, boy, that's it. What do you do now? Now you lost your quarterback, too? I was like, no. Like you don't worry with this dude. You just don't have to worry. May not be perfect, but I'm not worried about Malik Willis being on the field in this situation. And he performed beautifully. Now, what happened, though, is he had that forearm shiver to the head, as you mentioned, or the neck, but he also suffered a shoulder injury along the way. And you can tell he was in quite a bit of pain finishing up that game and in the overtime period. If that's first quarter, does he come out? I don't know. Was it a dire situation? You had nobody behind you? Well, yes, there was no other active quarterback on the roster, on the game day roster.
Right.
Now, it was Malik Willis or flip a coin between Josh Jacobs, who's got a knee injury, and Jaden Reed, who's recently back from a broken collarbone. Take your pick, right? So he had to finish that game, and he did, but he didn't lose composure. I feel very confident if Malik Willis has to start on Saturday night, this offense can be fine.
Well, it changes a little bit, Greg, because I think if you have a competent, which we do, backup quarterback, it's easy, if you're good, if you got a game plan, which Matt LaFleur, it's easy to come into that game when your quarterback goes out because the opposing team hadn't game plan for you. I would surmise that the Bears did anything to game plan for Malik Willis. Nothing. Malik Willis didn't take any first-team reps at all. So, and the Malik Willis game plan is different than the Jordan Love game plan. So it's not the same. So you're going to get some things that, and they've done this in the past. What will show you how good Malik is or how good Matt LaFleur is, if he's a starter against the Baltimore Ravens, where now they're actually practicing the Ravens defense against someone that similar to Malik Willis and know what the game plan is. They kind of caught the Bears off guard, so to speak, because they haven't had the reps against Malik Willis. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that's why it worked. It works because Matt LaFleur flips the card over, and these are my Malik Willis plays. They're not the same plays because Malik does some things better than what Jordan Love, and that means that he's a little bit more elusive in the run game. They run that ride and decide a little bit more, and he's able to do some more boots and some sprints and those types of things. But what he showed me in that game, Greg, is that he's also can be a pocket passer. And I think he's very efficient in what he does, but you also got to make sure that your defense is playing up to par.
I want to talk more about the quarterback situation with Jason Wilde on the other side. We'll get his best read of how this week in Green Bay is going to play out from a practice perspective. Keep in mind, Tuesday is usually an off day, but Packers play on Saturday night, so Tuesday, in effect, becomes Wednesday. So the practice week begins tomorrow. We'll get a first look at that injury report. I would not expect much from Jordan Love. It's probably nothing for Jordan Love, and I would expect very limited activity at best for Malik Willis tomorrow. Wednesday could be a different situation.
So who's the quarterback Wednesday in practice?
That's a great question. I have no read on the Jordan Love situation. I have zero read on it. I have zero read.
Malik is not the quarterback Wednesday. Jordan Love is not the quarterback. So who's taking quarterback reps on Wednesday?
Yeah, it's the practice squad guy, unless they bring somebody else in.
That's what it looks. That's what it
right?
appears.
Brian Brom ain't walking through that door.
No time soon.
Matt Flynn ain't walking through that door.
Yeah.
Graham Harrell's not walking through that door, Gary.
Aaron Brooks.
Not walking through that door.
No, they're all done.
Who was the backup to Lynn when you played?
That is a really great question. We had like 30 quarterbacks. We had Vinny Ferragamo. We had Jim Zorn. And we had, is it David Woodley? I think he quarterbacked for the Miami Dolphins there for a little bit. Yeah, we had a lot of guys revolving door.
You had Vince Ferragamo on the wrong side of his career, right? I mean, that was after
not
all the Rams stuff.
Ferragamo,
Yeah, that was
not the Super Bowl.
What a fun game just to name
Ferragamo.
obscure Packers backups all day long. You could just do it, can't you? Vince Young, I'll throw into the mix.
Well, now there was also a time, not to be on a tangent here, we'll get to Jason, but my contention is that if somebody asked me, they never had a good backup with Aaron Rodgers. I was like, well, I'm going to be honest with you. Aaron Rodgers didn't want a good backup.
No, he didn't. No,
he wanted a couple of buddies who he knew were not a threat. The Packers never had a good backup because of Aaron.
Yeah, and Brett wanted a hunting buddy, so we went and got, was that Doug Peterson? Yeah, so we went and got Doug.
Yeah.
That was his guy.
Yeah, exactly, right? He and Mark Brunell weren't doing that stuff together.
Yeah, we go shoot some deer.
Go find he and Ty weren't doing that together.
No, Ty wasn't doing that either.
That's okay. Monday Night Football tonight, it's the Colts and San Francisco 49ers. Interesting game. That'll get started in a little less than an hour. Jason Wilde joins us on the other side on Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday.
Back with more on the green and gold after this on Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat with Freddie Coleman.
I don't know what we saw last night, but aren't we glad that we saw it, whether you're a Rams fan, Seahawks fan, football fan, casual or hardcore? What did we actually see last night in the Seahawks comeback win in overtime, 38-37 over the Los Angeles Rams? Seahawks score first, and then the Rams, they kept scoring and kept scoring. They had a 30-14 lead. Then the Seahawks, they come back. Then the Rams scored. Then the Seahawks scored. Then the Seahawks get the 2-point conversion and win a game that is easily not just a candidate for best game of the year in the NFL. It has been the best game in the NFL this season, which is saying something in an NFL season that's had so many twists and turns throughout different games involving different players and different plays and impact here and impact there. That's why the NFL is the biggest, baddest boy in the sports jungle. And last night was another reason why their kingdom is never going to come down. In 60 seconds, happy for Sam Darnold in Seattle.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
Oh, there was trouble in Sam Darnold City because it was not looking good for him and the Seattle Seahawks, especially when there were a little murmur of boos early on. When he wasn't playing well, they could not get Jackson Smith and Jigba the ball. The Los Angeles Rams about to take a one-game lead in the NFC West. They had a 30-14 lead. And then sudden Sam showed up, and Jackson Smith and Jigba showed up. And whenever they needed Sam Darnold to make play after play after play, he was able to do that late in the third quarter. Definitely the fourth quarter, and definitely in overtime. No matter what you think of Sam Darnold, there had to be a small piece of you, unless you're a Rams or 49ers fan, that was rooting for him to finally succeed in a big game situation. This way, at least for a week or 2 weeks, he does not have to hear Sam Darnold cannot get it done in big games. Last time they had to have it, he did it for the Seahawks in Seattle. For the ESPN Radio Sports Beat, I'm Freddie Coleman of ESPN Radio's Freddie and Harry.
It's Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch. Upgrade your industrial supply services with Lakeland Supply, your trusted ISO-certified partner for custom packaging, shipping supplies, janitorial, and safety supply solutions. With over 40 years of industry excellence, Lakeland Supply is a proven one-stop source with over 95% of their products made in the U.S., and they treat their customers like family. Personalized service with a national reach. That's what Lakeland Supply does. Visit lakelandsupply.com to discover how they can make your business better.
The pursuit of fair wages and top-of-the-line benefits is achieved when the right union has your back. The Sheet Metal Workers Labor Union is extremely diverse, representing Wisconsinites working HVAC, architectural metals, welding, specialty fabrication, and much more. Make great living wages with outstanding benefits, pensions, and apprenticeship programs in trained, safe working environments. The Sheet Metal Workers Union is a leading force in the revitalization of the labor movement in Wisconsin.
Kyle Broston-Nortman, KBN.
Jordan Love is excited to see what Matthew Golden can do in the game because he's seeing what he can do in practice, and he's like, dang, I don't know if I've ever had a guy like this before.
On 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. You're listening to Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN.
Absolutely. I think 100%. I think he's done a hell of a job. I think we've all seen it, right? I mean, when he's gone in there, we've been able to move the football. We've won games with him as a starter, so we've got a ton of confidence in him and his ability to go in there and win a game if need be.
Packers head coach Matt LaFleur on his feelings about Malik Willis, who every time he's been called upon, be it as a starter or in a situation like we witnessed on Saturday, he has performed. He has performed well as a quarterback in his system, LaFleur's system, that is, and we saw a recent example of that on Saturday night. Will he be under center this coming Saturday, or is his injury likely to keep him out? I really have very little read on the quarterback situation in Green Bay today. I get it. The practice week begins tomorrow. We'll maybe get a little more clarification, but tough one for me to read right now. Thankfully, we have Jason Wilde. Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon on ESPN Wisconsin, and outstanding work online at channel3000.com. Hey, Wilde.
Hey, thanks for setting me up to fail, Greg. I really appreciate that, because I don't have a good read on it either.
Yeah, I got nothing on this one. As I'm about to watch Phillip Rivers take snaps for Monday Night Football, I'm thinking, like, who's in LaFleur's Rolodex if he really needs to make an emergency call? More of a fun exercise, but I don't have a good pulse on what's going to happen here.
Well, I think, judging by Matt LaFleur's affect yesterday, I do think that there is some measure of optimism that because Jordan Love does not have a long concussion history, right, and because I don't think he's actually ever been diagnosed with one in the NFL anyway, and, you know, the way he bounced up, and I know that's not, I'm not a neurologist, so take this for what it's worth, but I got the sense from LaFleur that there is at least a modicum of hope and optimism that he's on the earlier end of coming back from a concussion. Now we'll have to wait and see if that ends up being the case. But that was just the vibe I got. The Malik Willis thing, like you said, I got no feel. Like, he finished the game. He made a hell of a throw for a guy with a banged-up shoulder on the pass to Reed. So there are some good signs. But, again, like, this is not ideal. And as much as I enjoyed the discussion of who would be the emergency quarterback, I don't want to see Jaden Reed a quarterback. I mean, I guess part of me does, just because it would be really interesting. But beyond that, no. You know, I would also say this, like, there is an old guy in Matt LaFleur's Rolodex, but I think it's for the tight end situation, because I asked him straight out, have you talked to Goody and tried to convince him to sign Mercedes Lewis off the Broncos practice squad? Because they not only is the quarterback position is obviously the major concern, but they basically got one tight end left, right? They got Luke Musgrave at this point. Josh Wiley, you would think, would clear the concussion protocol this week. He didn't last week after getting the concussion in Denver, but they're set at that spot too. But obviously, quarterback is clearly the major priority.
Yeah, have they talked at all about Josh Jacobs? I understand that he's banged up a little bit with the knee, but we didn't see him anymore after that fumble. Did they have any clarity of, is he hurt, or was it a punishment, or did they explain that to you at all?
Yeah, I asked. I asked because I was wondering the same thing, Gary. And by the way, I need to text you when this segment is over. I need to remember. I need somebody's phone number from you. So remind me, Brian D. So here's the thing. Josh Jacobs was on the field for the onside kick as part of the hands team.
Right, I saw
So I was like, okay, wait a minute now. What? So you don't let him, and I don't think Matt LaFleur's answer indicated to me anyway that it was not it was not a fumble punishment that he wasn't back out there. I think they felt like he's banged up. And I also think they liked the way Emmanuel Wilson was running the football. And I also think they felt like, hey, our defense is playing really well. I think we've got this game under control, which they did until they didn't. So I think they felt like, you know what? Let's take it easy on Josh. If we need him, we can always put him back in. But let's try and maybe, save some hits on that knee, save some wear and tear, because we still got a couple more games we got to win. And obviously that did not work out on several levels. And, again, I don't know what they do this week because, he was struggling during the week. They didn't practice him. And you have to ask, you're the one who's the running back on this panel. Like, you know what ball security is about, but if you don't rep it all week, there's a chance that has an impact, doesn't it? Even if you're as experienced as Josh Jacobs?
Well, it really does, especially when you got a new starting offensive lineman. You got Jordan Morgan in there, so your mesh point is not as good as it would be had you had your regular right tackle. So, yeah, there's some stuff in there that goes with that, absolutely.
Really interesting point. So I want to get your thoughts on the defense here, Jason. I watched the game. I also looked at the numbers, right, trying to study what was different here. What were the Packers able to do without Micah Parsons on the field? And if you just looked at, the final quarter here, you're thinking, the Bears got 16 points on the board. Caleb Williams really isn't doing all that much, about 50% completion, about 150 yards. They're not impacting the game all that much. 2 for 11 on third down. But they also averaged 6 yards per carry on the ground, came up with money plays when they needed to. The Packers had no sacks. 5 of the 10 Bears penalties occurred on third down, so a little self-sabotage there as well. What did you make of it? It didn't. I know it was from a point production standpoint, you say that's a win. You're going to win a lot of football games. You hold the team to 16 points after regulation. But was it truly a good performance by the defense as you look at it?
Yeah, what's weird about this game, and the defense is the same as Romeo Doubs and Malik Willis and Matt LaFleur as a play caller and all the other stuff. You want to say, I used this phrase earlier today, but it's like he or it was really good until it wasn't, right? Malik Willis was really good until he wasn't when he fumbled that snap and he took full responsibility. Romeo Doubs had a really good game until he didn't, when he didn't corral the onside kick. The defense, I thought, played a really good game. Yes, they didn't sack Caleb Williams, but, he had, 2 of his biggest runs were on the tying touchdown drive, right? They had corralled him. They hadn't sacked him, but they also hadn't let him hurt them with his legs. So I thought that they, for a team that had lost, obviously, their superstar, and this is, again, it is, everyone has injuries. You don't have exclusivity on that, but that's a big one, and especially when you consider that the 2 guys on your team who play that position, who are first-round picks, one has been hurt most of the year, and the other one has disappeared, right? Rashawn Gary now has gone 8 straight games without a sack.
I don't know.
Right, and I don't want to pick on him. I got nothing personal against him, but how am I supposed to evaluate his performance? If I'm being honest and fair, because I can't, if I'm not supposed to base it on his contract, if I'm not supposed to base it on his draft status, the bottom line is his production, no matter where he was drafted, given the circumstances of losing Micah Parsons, aren't good enough. And so, again, I don't know what I found myself asking, is he injured and no one knows about it? But that can't be, because he's got to be on the injury report if he has any sort of injury. And the fact that LaFleur, a couple of weeks ago had that line about, well, he's not a high snap count guy. Okay, well, I guess then he gets paid more per snap than other players do, right? Because you pay a guy that, and you view him as an elite player, whether you should have viewed him that way or not. He's got to be on the field more. And there was another instance in this game, like it was one thing, right, Gary, when you see Micah Parsons run by him when he's chasing Bo Nix or Caleb Williams, because Micah Parsons is a freak.
You saw that? No,
you did a couple times.
That's not.
But that happened in the game, right?
That happens to Denver. It was, and they went. That was an oh moment for me. You got Micah Parsons, who's way up on the back side of the play. You've got Rashawn Gary, who's on the front side of the play. Micah Parsons came way from the backside and ran past Rashawn Gary, which said to me, like, is he hurt? Is he hamstring, calves? What is? I mean, that should never really happen. But to the flip side of that, Micah Parsons is saying to these guys, this is what you got to be great.
Right?
This is what we got to have. This is the effort we got to have to be great. And I don't know if all those guys are picking up on that.
Well, and look, Micah Parsons can make a lot of people look bad by comparison. But that was it happened again on Saturday night, where he just didn't look like he was running very fast.
No.
And I don't think we can say that it's injury related, because the Packers put everybody and their brother on the injury report, right? Like, it's not like they skimp on the injury report. Like, there's like 17 guys on there most of the time. And so I think it's highly unlikely that he has an injury that just no one's putting on the report. I don't think that's probably the case. So which then leads to, okay, if it's not injury related, what the heck is it?
Real quick, I thought that Jordan Morgan, to me, probably played his best game as a Packer. I thought he looked pretty good. I don't know if there was and I thought Kennard, when you look at him, they put him back in his role that he was normally in. Maybe he found a home at right tackle. Any thoughts?
Well, certainly temporarily, right? Like, not knowing when.
Exact time spot, yes.
Right, but I think, look, first of all, and this is what I was saying to Brian Bulaga, like, he did not play well when he had to go in at right tackle against Cleveland.
No.
But I also don't know, I don't know what their approach had been that week in preparation. Because remember, that was the game when Zach Tom left after one play, which you don't ever want to be in that situation. But, I mean, he is a tackle. Like, Brian will tell you, I was never a guard. They tried me at guard, and I sucked. It's possible that's true about Jordan Morgan too, right? It's just he's not a guard. And he certainly looked comfortable. Again, I don't know offensive line play as well as others do, clearly. But I thought it was really encouraging. And that personnel move I did not take issue with. Now, I will say this. I took issue with playing Nate Hobbs. Now, I thought Javon Bullard had a really good game, and it's great that he played every snap because they put him at safety. But I think what I would have done, and again, I don't know what Jeff Hafley's going to say to this, and I don't know if I'll ask him on Christmas Eve or not, because that's when we'll talk to him. But I would have played Zane Anderson. I would have played Javon Bullard at safety in the base, and then when we went to nickel, I would have moved Javon Bullard to the nickel spot and brought in Zane Anderson. Instead, they kept Bullard at safety all game long, and he played really well.
He did.
But I don't know whose fault it was on the tying touchdown. I don't know if that's Keyshawn. I don't know if that's Nate Hobbs. And Nate Hobbs prevented people from interviewing Keyshawn after the game in the locker room at Soldier Field, so I guess we'll never know. unless Keyshawn talks this week. But, look, I just found myself wondering, does that same miscommunication between those two happen if it's not Hobbs that's in there? And maybe it does. And maybe it's just Keyshawn screwed up. But it's fourth down. You played defense really well on the first 3 plays there. You've got a chance to win the game there, right? That's another play that you look back on and go, oh, if they'd only done, like, that's why people were having flashbacks to the 2014 NFC Championship game, because it was another one of those games where if any one of this X number of things that went wrong had not gone wrong, they would have won. Now, I think that game was like 9, and this game was like 5 things that went wrong. But I get why fans were frustrated, man, because they just, everything that needed to go wrong did, and that's how you lose.
Packers have about a 10% chance of winning the NFC North Division, about a 93% chance of qualifying for the postseason. 1 win or 1 Lions loss accomplishes that, at a minimum, the number 7 seed, and maybe a return trip to Soldier Field for a playoff game. Jason Wilde covers the Packers. Read his work at channel3000.com. Always very interesting stuff written by Jason. And, of course, Wilde and Tausch, 9 to noon, weekdays here on ESPN Wisconsin. Always good stuff, Wilde. We'll get a little clarification on the quarterback picture here throughout the week. Practice week begins tomorrow, and maybe we could piece this thing together over the next couple of days.
I feel like Inspector Gadget trying to figure things out. Although I think usually he had other people help him. I think he was a pretty bad inspector, which is right on brand for me. All right, guys, take care. Be good.
You do the same. So we'll step aside here for a moment, Gary. But coming back, I want to go back into the day of defense it was for the Green Bay Packers. We'll dive into the Ravens, what their quarterback situation looks like, and the situation in the NFC and AFC with regard to the playoffs. Is it possible an 11-win team gets left out? We'll take a look at that and more. It's Potawatomi Sportsbook, Football Monday.
More football talk coming up next. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. On this show, it's always football season.
So now Jeff Hafley's going to have to get more creative. Everybody will have to bow up and do things. And the main guy is Jordan Love.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
This went from a defensive-led team to now Jordan Love. Put him on your back. You're going to have to get the cape out.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
This game is once in a century. Be there at Fiserv Forum on December 26th. Go to HarlemGlobetrotters.com for your tickets to the 100-year tour.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 15 retired in honor of Butch Lee. He finished in 78, and the number retired the next season. It's hard to believe that any player could ever equal what Butch Lee did at Marquette. Part of the national championship team in 77, and the Final Four MVP, and the next season, the consensus National Player of the Year. So much success, it's not necessary to bring up any statistics. Number 15, Butch Lee, did everything. Running a business means taking care of your team and your bottom line. For over 50 years, Saganiac Planning has helped small businesses build smarter, more affordable medical and employee benefit plans. From health insurance to customized coverage options, our experts make it simple to protect your people and your future. Saganiac Planning, your partner in planning confidence. Visit SaganiacPlanning.com or call John Saganiac Jr. today to get started. 262-783-6161.
As the year winds down, we all pause to take stock of where we've been and where we want to go next. If finishing your degree has been on your mind, this could be your moment. At Lakeland University, education fits real life with flexible evening and online classes, credit for your work and life experiences, and multiple start dates so you don't have to wait. Earn your degree 100% online, close to home at one of our 6 Wisconsin centers, or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. This next year, invest in what matters most. You. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered with fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel. Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right and naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything, from the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN.
Just a couple minutes left here in hour number 1 of Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. We'll dive into the Packers' day on defense coming up at 7 o'clock or so. Did you see the story about the Chiefs? They're moving to Kansas.
No, I did not. That was surprising. I've been hearing a lot about the Chicago Bears moving to Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, right, which could happen.
Fort
Oh, God,
Wayne
that would be all sorts of amazing if that ended up happening. Yeah. The Chiefs announced just a few hours ago they're going to leave their home at Arrowhead Stadium for a new stadium, a $3 billion domed stadium that'll be built across the Kansas-Missouri state line and be ready for the 2031 season. I do believe at that point Travis Kelce will still be playing tight end for the Chiefs. They've had a lot of back and forth about the stadium situation at Arrowhead. It's an older stadium.
Yeah.
Did you ever play there? Did you ever play at Arrowhead?
Not. No, I have not.
But it's been around for a minute.
Yeah, it's been around for a while.
And it's known as one of the louder stadiums in the NFL, right, especially for outdoor stadiums. I've never been there, too. I've driven by it. I know exactly where it is. But the idea that it could be moved across the border to Kansas was floated not too long ago. They've been trying to get a stadium deal done, and Kansas was kind of on the periphery. Maybe we could do it over here, right? Plans working and renderings, it looked all pretty. Well, they were able to lure it. So Chiefs owner Clark Hunt says, the location of our games will change. Our fans will still be the loudest in the NFL. Our games will still be the best place in the world to tailgate. Players and coaches will be ready to compete for championships, blah, blah, blah. But the Kansas City Chiefs, beginning in 2031, will be, I guess, having a home base in the state of Kansas versus the state of Missouri.
How far is that from the...
Well, that's the thing. So I've been to a Royals game, and you go to a Kansas City Royals game. It is barely across the state line. Okay. Barely. I mean, you hit a golf ball and you're going to hit it into Kansas.
Okay.
So very, very close. And Arrowhead is kind of in that same area. So it'd take you about 3 minutes to get into the state of Kansas. But nonetheless, it still is a different state. Interesting move.
Like you said earlier, but the same fan base, so they don't lose anything.
No, not at all. Not at all. This is not a St. Louis Rams moving to Los Angeles.
Correct.
Guys, just to jump in here, it's a 30-minute drive from Arrowhead to the site of where this new stadium is being proposed. So 24 miles, 30 minutes, just the south side of the city to the west side of the city, basically.
Oh, that's not bad.
I do wonder, though, from a state of Missouri perspective, if you feel like, man, we just cannot keep a football team. We just cannot get this right for whatever reason. And a franchise that seemingly has done a lot right over the years, an historic franchise, and now just picking up and moving across state line.
Yeah, it's okay.
Maybe the taxes are better. I don't know.
Maybe. I'm okay with that.
We shall find out. Yeah. Hour number 2, Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday coming up. A deeper dive into the day that it was for the Packers without Micah Parsons on defense. We'll look ahead to the Ravens. Some buy or sell for Gary. And, of course, I'll look at the playoff picture here in the AFC and NFC. Stay with us. More to come.
More football talk coming up next. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday.
Something exciting is happening at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. On the second floor, you'll find the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, Milwaukee's destination for bold flavors, fresh sushi, seasonal entrees, and cocktails crafted with care. Start your day with a breakfast that fuels you, stop in for dinner that sparks conversation, or linger late into the evening with drinks designed to inspire. With flavors and drinks for every mood, the Studio is the perfect place to gather, celebrate, and connect. Be boldly social. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails, now on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Homer here for Window Nation's end of the year sale. It's cold here in Milwaukee, and if you've been thinking about new windows, it's good you waited, because during Window Nation's end of the year sale, get 50% off, plus you could get 0% interest for 5 years. On windows that stop the cold wintry drafts, seal out moisture, and so energy efficient, you'll save money on your utility bills. Installed in 1 day. Lifetime warranty and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Sale ends soon. Don't miss out on big savings. WindowNation.com to get started.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
This season, the Bucks are going for it all.
A game winner for the Greek Freak.
Go inside the team's pursuit of a championship on Locked In, the new season of the Behind the Bucks podcast, narrated by Bucks legend Marcus Johnson. Hear from the team stars on why they think they can make history. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station. The game is over.
They all suck. How about that?
And it's the day after.
Williams looking downfield, launching downfield, going for it all! It is caught! Bears win! DJ Moore!
It doesn't matter. That's why it's so week to week. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I was proud of the way we played. I thought our guys competed. I thought we were physical. I thought there was a lot of good things we did, but ultimately we didn't close it out.
Let's react to the game and look ahead. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios. Here's Greg Matzik and Gary Ellerson.
Well, Christmas week is here, another short week here for the Green Bay Packers. I guess it's a normal week because they did play on Saturdays. They got a Saturday thing going here. Ravens, having played late afternoon on Sunday, have a short week with the quarterback in Lamar Jackson, who was also dinged up and was not able to finish what he started yesterday against the Patriots. More on that matchup coming up a little later in the program. Greg and Gary with you till 8 o'clock from Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. Without Micah Parsons, Gary, we talked on the program last week, and I know you missed last week. What would the defense look like without their best performer? What would this look like? What would Jeff Hafley do? Would there be more blitzing? Would safeties start to leak up toward the line of scrimmage and maybe bluff? Would he disguise things in any way to keep Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears offense guessing? And maybe some unscouted looks, just some new wrinkles. Keep in mind, the Packers, for all of their off-season training up until a couple weeks before the season started, they didn't have Micah Parsons. So Jeff Hafley was in the laboratory concocting a defense that did not have number one on the field. So it's not totally foreign to him. Didn't have Micah Parsons last year either. But I was curious to see what they would do and if it would look any different to me. And I know what the scoreboard said at the end of regulation. Game was tied at 16. I know the Bears were 2 for 11 on third down. They could not convert. I know Caleb Williams was kind of all over the place, and if you take his overtime stats away when he really caught fire, late in the fourth and in overtime, you get a subpar day as a quarterback for that game. But I also note that the Bears averaged about 6 yards a carry. I also note that their 2 of 11 on third down look a little closer. They had 5 penalties on third down that made it third and unmanageable, practically. So it kind of gift wrapping an opportunity for the Packers defense to get off the field. You also had a blown coverage on a game-tying touchdown. You had missed interception opportunity from Xavier McKinney. Did the Packers defense have a good day? I'm still not settled on that fact. I look at the totality and I think, boy, 16 points allowed. You're doing something right. But I think it was more the Bears' offense was a mess. I think they were a mess for the better part of 50 minutes in that game on Saturday. I don't think there was anything special. And if what we saw on Saturday happens again this Saturday, the Packers' offense is going to have to score a lot of points to win their next two games. I thought it was a subpar performance on defense. I did not think it was off to a great start. And the receivers they're going to face are only going to get better as the season wears on.
Well, they can run and hit. I mean, that's their MO. Their front seven is probably the best front seven maybe in the National Football League. They're athletic. They can get the ball. Bullard, if he's in the right spot, is really good. Evan Williams, if he's in the right spot, he's really good.
Or on the field, right? They didn't have Evan Williams.
Right,
that was the
so
problem.
you bring those two guys and get them in their right spot with the front seven that they have, they can run and hit. You don't get any extra yards. When you tackle, you tackle. That's it. And we knew this going in. They're suspect at corner. You just didn't have an answer after you lost your problem child. Should we name him?
We all know.
Yeah. So they didn't have an answer for that. And so next year in the draft, they have to take a cornerback in the first, second round. Very high. They don't have one. And what Micah Parsons did, I mean, you asking me this a good little while ago when we first started the show, who benefits more from Micah Parsons?
And your answer?
Defensive back.
Keyshawn
Nixon. Because when you got Micah Parsons putting pressure, the quarterback's got to get rid of football before he wants to, or he's got to thread the needle because here comes Micah Parsons. And so when you now watch the Packers defense, you're going to see the quarterback have more opportunities to throw the ball. Did you notice they did less boots and sprint outs in this game? He threw Caleb from the pocket a lot because they weren't afraid of anybody getting to him. And so now you got the whole field open for you, which exposes your cornerbacks. When you're doing boots right, boots left, sprints right, you're cutting half the field. So, although Caleb can throw it backside if he wants to, because that guy is really good. But you cut down half the field where they can throw the football to. So if you're asking me, what's the Micah Parsons effect not being there, it is that now I think teams can really expose our guys on the back end. You're right. Xavier McKinney, he's got to make that play. And, I mean, it was a great setup. He missed the one in Denver. He set up Bo Nix, same thing. He missed the one here. He's the only guy. He's the safety net. He's got to be the guy that try to cover up for your corners because they're not as good as you'd like for them to be.
So Keyshawn Nixon's ability to gamble,
we just don't know what he's
gone.
He's so erratic.
Right?
Well, yeah, but he's up, he's down. He's so erratic. He's just not stable. He's just all over the place. And so you just don't know what you're going to get from him down to down. Now, what I do like about him is nothing seemed to faze him if he gets beat deep. He keeps coming back. So that's a great asset to have when you're playing corner.
Yeah, short memory is good. But what made Keyshawn Nixon, and you were so spot on with your answer. My answer to that question back in week 1 was Rashawn Gary.
Yeah.
It should help Rashawn Gary. And in the first, 6-7 games of the season, he benefited.
Right.
But so did Keyshawn Nixon.
Yep.
He was among the league leaders in pass breakups.
Absolutely.
Right? And as I started to analyze that a little bit more and watch more of the film and the All-22, it goes exactly to your point. Quarterbacks know they do not have a lot of time. You want to do play action with Micah Parsons chasing after you? Good luck with that. 5-step drive. They just takes too much time to develop. So wide receivers getting 30, 40 yards downfield, that's just tough to do with Micah Parsons barreling down.
Yep.
So you can jump that little out route. Mm-hmm. You can jump that 10-yard out, right? Mm-hmm. You can gamble a little bit more.
Right. Or you can play more sticky coverage.
Or that, right?
And they're not playing
Got
sticky
options.
coverage now, no.
So we did not see that on Saturday. And there is a bit of a trickle-down effect because Evan Williams, absent from the game
that hurts.
Is a significant blow to the Packers defense. He is a top 5 defensive player on that squad. Assuming all that are healthy, he might be a top 3 in some people's eyes. He is that good.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the domino effect there is, well, now you got to see more 21 on the field. And with respect to what Jason Wilde said about playing Zane Anderson, I don't think either are your answer. Right? Like neither one of those dudes is going to make you feel that great about your situation.
For the sake of keeping Bullard where he is, I think that's where he's going. I mean, I could kind of see that. But then again, you don't take Bullard off the field when he's in Evan Williams' spot, so I can kind of get down with that too. I want to have Bullard on the field 100% of the time.
Bullard, Williams, McKinney.
Right.
That makes me exhale a little bit. I feel pretty good about that. Going into the game without Evan Williams, I was concerned. And the numbers really suggest that the Bears had a kind of a rough night passing the football until very late in that game and, of course, in overtime. But I do believe it was largely a product of the Bears coming up with untimely penalties on third down. Like when their offense, it's 3rd and 6, right? Penalty. Now it's 3rd and 11.
Right.
That's a big difference. That is a huge difference. And they did it themselves. Their 5 penalties on offense all happened on third down.
Right. And so you asked me about the Ben Johnson. That's Ben Johnson. That's Dan Campbell. That's them. Because this is now the league has changed. It's a 4-down league. If you wanted to early in the year, Greg, we talked about this. That you can, all you have to do is average 3.5 or 3 yards per carry in this league now and get to 4th and 1 or 4th and inches and decide whether you want to go for it. They got the 2 best running backs in the league. They got the best offensive line. Why are we, Bears, why are we throwing the ball? The Green Bay Packers are without their best defense. They bringing jokers in off the street. Did Howard Green play yesterday? Because it felt like he might have was there. They're bringing jokers off the street to play defensive line. Why aren't they running the ball more? They could have. I think they could, if they were smart enough, they could have had their way with us. But Ben Johnson is not patient enough to really make that happen because he wants to prove a point and beat Matt LaFleur so bad he gets a little sideways.
Bears averaged about 5.8 a carry.
Yes.
But that's winning football.
Exactly. Let's go.
What
are we doing?
That is a concerning number.
Why are we got to do a trick thing between somebody's legs? What are you doing, dude?
Is now a good time to point out that Derrick Henry's coming to Lambeau Field this weekend. The Bears had good success. I know.
Well, there's another one. Derrick Henry, the game yesterday, where was he?
He sat the final, 13 minutes?
What is that?
That seems like malpractice to me. That's malpractice.
What's wrong with these people?
Hall of Fame back, I'd put him on the sideline and just get him over there in a game that we need to win. We don't have our quarterback. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. That's good stuff. We'll get into the matchup here Saturday at Lambeau Field. They've got a quarterback issue themselves right in Baltimore, and they are playing for their lives. Still mathematically in it, but that felt like a death blow, their loss yesterday to the New England Patriots. Coming up next, Gary's favorite segment, it's Buy or Sell. We'll do it after this. Settle in.
More football talk coming up next. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. Greg Matzek, Gary Ellerson, the day after reaction show you need in your life.
Who benefits the most from Micah Parsons being on the field?
Secondary. Keyshawn Nick.
It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Mondays with Greg and Gary.
If you're a quarterback, you've got to get the football out of your hands before you really want to do it. I mean, everybody's getting their wealth with this, but to me, I think it's really the guys in the secondary.
Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios from 6 to 8 p.m. every Monday on 94.5 ESPN.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
To help those who want to be helped but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. his parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
Christmas is a time of generosity.
Kessler's wants to be generous, and we suspect that you want to be generous too. Let's team up.
This year, we're going to make it possible for you to be more generous than ever.
Number 1, Kessler's has a big selection of delightful diamond jewelry priced at $150 on up.
Number 2, great gifts at affordable prices such as sterling silver earrings, pendants, and bracelets to fit every look and every personality.
Number 3, with your purchase of more than $299, you'll get a bonus gift worth at least $90.
You can choose from a lucky 4-leaf clover pendant
or a 22-inch stainless steel curb chain, ion plated in yellow gold.
And please, please don't get all cleaned up and dressed up. This is Kessler's, your home away from home.
If you're wearing muddy boots and your pajama bottoms, that's totally fine.
We've all done it.
Come to Kessler's.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you and our holiday hours, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
The holidays are busy. Meals to make, gifts to wrap, parties to host. When it's finally time to unwind, make it blissful with Carbless. Crisp, refreshing, and full of flavor with every sip. 0 sugar, 0 carbs, only 100 calories, and gluten-free. While it may be frozen outside, it's always flawless with Carbless. No guessing and no compromise. So whether you're celebrating with friends, hosting the crew, or relaxing by the fire, bring bliss to your holiday gatherings. Carbless, full of flavor, guilt-free enjoyment.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
As the year winds down, we all pause to take stock of where we've been and where we want to go next. If finishing your degree has been on your mind, this could be your moment. At Lakeland University, education fits real life with flexible evening and online classes, credit for your work and life experiences, and multiple start dates so you don't have to wait. Earn your degree 100% online, close to home at one of our 6 Wisconsin centers, or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. This next year, invest in what matters most. You. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN. The market is open, and the hot takes are trading fast. From bold predictions to brutal realities, it's time to put the takes on the table. Are you buying or are you selling? It's time to buy or sell.
Well, it is that time, right? See up Gary with a buy or sell question. Are you buying or selling what I am serving, Gary? Are you ready to play? You always get so mad at me when you play this game. I feel like you're always irritated with me.
Well, because you try to put me on the spot.
I do. Well, exactly what I try to do.
That's why.
That's kind of
and I'm not there yet. You want me to make a clear-cut decision every time,
yes.
like right now.
Well,
and I'm not ready to do that. I got 2 more games left. You want me to be Nostradamus? Or what was that guy that I'm aging myself? That Johnny Carson used
Karnak.
to do? Yeah, you want me to be Karnak.
Yeah.
And you want your dad to be who?
Ed McMahon?
Ed McMahon.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Your dad not should do it.
I just, take it out. You put yourself on a limb, right? You make a bold proclamation.
Yes.
See, sports radio it's not about telling the truth. It's not even about really spewing facts. It's all about reckless speculation. That's what sports radio is all about. Reckless speculation.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
Don't worry about whether you're right or wrong.
No. It's not about that. You don't even have to have factual information.
Okay.
Right? None of it matters.
Fine.
It's all reckless speculation.
Okay.
That's what this is.
Right.
There we go. Buy or sell, Gary.
Ding? What the ding's for?
That was just in your head. Yeah, your bell has been rung.
Okay.
There is no noise being
How many
played.
fingers am I holding up, Gary?
2.
Yeah, 2 is the answer to that question. Very good. Very good. All right, Gary, here we go. The Packers are 9-5-1. Are you buying or selling? They will win the division. Do you want me to remind you what it's going to take? 2 wins, 2 Bears losses.
You know what? I and this is why I asked you earlier. It feels like to me that was the Bears' Super Bowl.
Big deal, no doubt.
It felt like that. It was their. I'm reading all this stuff on social, everywhere. I got cousins. I got my aunt. They live in Chicago. They're absolutely losing their natural mind. I don't think they know they played the 49ers this week. I don't know when they're going to move. I'm buying that. I think the Packers win out and the Bears lose out. Absolutely, 100%.
So it's San Francisco and Detroit here for the Bears. And San Francisco game is on the road. 49ers just on the field right now against Indianapolis. So nothing easy about that, and plenty of reasons for San Francisco to keep playing. I don't know what to make of the Detroit game. They could certainly be in the spoiler position if things play out as you suggest. Detroit's going to be on the outside looking in before that game even begins.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
And the Packers, of course, have the Ravens at home on Saturday. They've not yet announced the game time for the final game against the Minnesota Vikings. And I guess Minnesota would be in a similar position as Detroit, with the potential to play spoiler. We shall see, because I think the events of next weekend will dictate how Matt LaFleur approaches the final game of the regular season.
Yeah.
That's going to be very interesting, and we'll have to think about that more once we watch the games of next week. But I like where your mind is at, because it's a very optimistic tune.
Absolutely. Here
on the Green Bay Packers that they'll win out. Question 2, are you buying or selling the Packers must be a playoff team for Matt LaFleur to return as head coach next season?
Well, I think with the amount of injuries that they had, which is not in Matt LaFleur's control, I think he's done a hell of a job of coaching and getting these guys to where they are. Outside of 49ers, I don't know if there's another team that has had the amount of injuries that we've had to keep players. What's my question?
Do the Packers need to be a playoff team for Matt LaFleur to keep his job?
No, they don't.
I am with you on that.
No.
But it is still a question because there's a new president in town. There's a new sheriff in town.
I get it.
Right?
Yeah, I get it.
And it's kind of like, I don't know if this feels like a lame duck year to Goody and to Matt LaFleur. Goody's will be back. No doubt about that in my mind. No. I think there's probably better than a 70% chance Matt LaFleur is back.
Yeah.
But I think it goes to 100 if they make the playoffs.
Oh, absolutely. But I think it's 100 even if they don't go to the playoffs. Matt LaFleur has done an outstanding coaching job with this team. I think he doesn't get enough credit from our fan base, and I get it. We're a little spoiled. We want it. I know what we want, but you've lost a lot of good players. I mean, Tucker Kraft, if you just think about at his position, probably one of the top 4 tight ends in the league. And when you're replacing a guy that's top 4, to what? To Luke Musgrave? To
3
Darren
tight ends
Kennard,
trying to be the guy who's number 4.
The drop-off is so great. I mean, that's a big... Micah Parsons, the second best pass rusher in the league. Then you're replacing him with 3-4 other guys. So, Zach Thomas been banged out for the rest of the year. You lost your best offensive lineman, Elton Jenkins. That could be a blessing in disguise, though, just so you know, because now you got your offensive line figured out. But still, you've lost players that were not just on your team, but were top players throughout the NFL at their key positions.
Are you buying or selling the Packers will defeat the Ravens with Malik Willis at quarterback?
Buying, absolutely. I think the Ravens are a shell of themselves right now. They're not playing good football. I watched a little bit of that game last night. They just don't have the heart anymore. Lamar Jackson is the key. If he's not, he doesn't look right. And that's what happens with running quarterbacks like that. Over a period of time, they become like running backs, and they just run out of steam. They got nothing left. And to be quite honest with you, quarterbacks that run like that take more vicious hits than a running back. Because when he's getting ready to throw the ball, he's standing there and he cannot protect himself. As a running back, you at least get the ball up a little bit and protect yourself. Quarterbacks, blindside, wide open, and then he wants to run and take hits too. Not a good thing. I think he's fading away.
So Lamar Jackson has a bone bruise or some kind of a contusion in his back that forced him out of the game.
Mm-hmm.
We know what he likes to do and how he likes to get down running the football. I still don't know if he's going to be himself.
No, he's not.
On Saturday, right?
And
he might play.
And if you do, you got to tag him. You got to put the hit on him. You got to put the extra hit on him. That's just the NFL. That's the way it goes. They won't tell you that. Well, these guys won't talk about that. Sure. But you got to put the hit on him.
More on that matchup coming up a little bit later here in the program. Do you want a bonus? Do you want a bonus buy or sell?
Sure.
Bigger disappointment. This is kind of a global look here.
Yeah.
In fact, it's not even a buy or sell. Bigger disappointment. Kansas City Chiefs or Detroit Lions?
What about it?
Which team is a bigger disappointment?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm going to go Detroit Lions.
I think so too.
I saw the Kansas City Chiefs thing going away. We saw that fading fast. I mean, last year that was a fluke, but they got old. They didn't replace any of their players. They got to start all over, and they got to rebuild it around Mahomes. Yeah, I think the Lions. I mean, the Lions, although had a lot of injuries last year, they got a lot of injuries this year, but it was just a 2-year window, feels like.
The Lions were among the most injured teams last year. Well, that was pretty crazy, and they rose above it. Yeah. It does show you. I think coaching does matter. Right? They lost a couple of key assistants. Dan Campbell put everything on his back, and yes, right. That's a big deal. And they will likely be on the outside of the postseason looking in. In fact, I think it's a pretty good chance. They have a 7% chance of making the postseason.
100%.
And if they do, that means the Packers don't.
Yeah.
Don't want to see that happen. I'm excited to see the Lions just fade off into oblivion. I really like it.
I like it.
What an annoying group of fans.
No, they are. Well, I played for the Lions, so don't say that. They love to fight there. That was in Pontiac, Silverdale. I like how competitive our division is. It's a lot like the NFC West, right, where you have the 49ers, Rams, Seattle. I love how competitive it is all the way down to the Vikings. We'll see if they can come back.
Viking season is over. We'll go through the playoff picture coming up on the other side. Coming up next, it's Not My Beat. A deeper dive into the Ravens. What do they do best? Why are they below 500? And what's the latest info on Lamar Jackson, the Packers' next opponent? We put it in our sights after this on Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday.
Back with more on the green and gold after this on Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with an offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
The holidays are here, and I don't know about you, but for our family, that means more time spent inside the house entertaining family and friends.
Hi, we're Mike and Michelle, owners of Professional Construction. You know what, Michelle? You're right. This year, forget those boring gifts. No more blenders, no more socks.
How about this year, you give yourself that brand new kitchen or the basement rec room so the kids have a space to call their own.
No matter the project, you can count on us.
Happy holidays from all of us at Professional Construction, Inc.
Experience hot gaming action and a relaxing spa day. Your perfect winter getaway at the island. Book a stay and float package to get both a standard room and a rejuvenating 60-minute float pod therapy session for less than $100. Complement your stay with an elevated dining experience at Horizon Steakhouse, followed by an evening of comedy in Club 4-1. The Island Resort and Casino's stay and float package runs through February. Call 800-682-6040 to book yours today. Certain days and restrictions apply.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Pain has a way of stealing the moments that matter most, especially during the holidays. It's not just your knees, your back, or your shoulders. It's time with family and friends. But in 2026, that all could change when your body remembers how to heal. It just needs a little help finding the way back. Dr. Ashley Caravelli and her team at QC Kinetics here in Milwaukee believe relief doesn't just come from surgery or pain pills. They use your body's own natural healing abilities to repair and restore what's been lost. It's your body's comeback story, powered by the very cells that built you in the first place. No surgery, no pain pills, pills, no long recovery. Just your body remembering how to feel alive again. QC Kinetics delivers that long-term relief that you're finally looking for. Make the new year your turning point where pain stops defining you. It's time to take that first step. Literally. Time to walk, enjoy the holidays, live without pain, and live without hesitation. With QC Kinetics, healing is within reach. Schedule your free consultation today at QC Kinetics. Give them a call at 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298. Is Mud calling a timeout on your ride? A Tsunami Express car wash membership is your winning play. Get unlimited washes, fast lane access, and free vacuums every visit, all for less than $1 a day. With 7 Milwaukee area locations, including the newest spot in New Berlin, keeping your car in prime time condition is a total touchdown. Whether you're tailgating, heading to the stadium, or just cruising around town, make sure you roll up looking like a champ. Become a member today at TsunamiExpress.com. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
When storms hit or accidents happen, it's not just about property, it's about people. I'm Mandy Grimal-Lococo with Grimal & Associates Insurance. We help families bundle home, auto, and life coverage so you're never facing life's what-ifs alone. With the heavy rains we've seen in Milwaukee, we'll review your policy to be sure water backup, sump pump failures, and flood risks don't drain your wallet. Your home is more than walls and a roof, it's where life happens. At Grimal & Associates Insurance in Shorewood, we're here to protect your home, your family, and your peace of mind. Call us today at 414-332-0838.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Give me your biggest takeaway.
One. Oh, number one?
Yes.
With the bullet, it's not even close. Micah Parsons is the guy we thought he is.
On 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. You're listening to Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN. When the story isn't in Green Bay, you gotta go straight to the source. Each week, we check in with the people on the inside. This is Not My Beat.
A deeper dive into the Packers' next opponent here, the Baltimore Ravens, coming to Lambeau Field for a Saturday night matchup after a very disappointing loss to the New England Patriots. Kind of feels like a bit of a death blow here for the Baltimore Ravens with regard to their playoff chances, but they are still in it. Mathematically, they are still in it. However, if Pittsburgh wins a game in their final two, then the Ravens are going to be done. So if Pittsburgh somehow loses before Saturday, that'll be on Sunday, actually. So the Ravens are going to come into Saturday night's game with a shot, a mathematical shot to win and be in the playoffs. If the Steelers win, then it's a moot point.
Right.
Ravens are out. But right. Ravens play before the Steelers, so they come into Green Bay thinking, this is it. This is all we got, right? We have to win this game. So I don't know if that influences player decisions on who might play and who might not. Put me in the category of I'd be shocked if Lamar Jackson did not start on Saturday against the Green Bay Packers. I would be shocked. Bone bruise in your back, it feels maybe more like a pain tolerance kind of thing. If you can get through it after a week of treatment, easy for me to say. I mean, one hit probably puts you back to square one.
Yeah.
Tyler Huntley is a capable backup. He's done some good things, and he's still there for a reason. But Lamar Jackson is this team's engine, right? He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So is Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
Maybe Mark Andrews, right? There's Hall of Fame talent there. But it's a different dynamic without Lamar Jackson on the field. That's for sure. And his inconsistency this year is part of the reason, along with inconsistent defensive play, why the Ravens are where they are.
Yeah.
Sub 500.
Yeah. Because we don't see them much, AFC team, an opponent that, we don't scout and, we don't. It's tough to try to measure, where they are. But we know that they're supposed to be the top team, one of the top teams in the AFC, along with Buffalo, New England. I saw New England doing what they're doing, but it feels like they're fading fast. It just feels like that whatever they're doing is getting old. It feels like they need a reset. Lamar Jackson just looks tired. I watched a little bit last night. I saw him do an interview pregame. He just didn't look good. And I think he's all beat up. Derrick Henry, he looks tired as well. I mean, he's got a lot of miles. One thing about Derrick Henry, if you get to him early, he don't get a chance to build up steam and run over you. So if you get to him early, you hit him low, don't take him up high, I think you'll be okay. Andrews, the tight end, is probably, and they got some speed on the outside too, but Andrews, the tight end, is probably who they like to go to a lot. He doesn't seem like he's himself anymore either. So their weapons offensively, I don't think they can hurt you if you don't pay attention, but I don't fear anything over there.
It's pretty consistent.
It's not Ray Lewis's defense anymore either.
Not a lot of spreading the wealth here, right? I mean, it's Henry with running, and they got a third down bat they'd like to use, and they used him exclusively in the fourth quarter yesterday, which was weird. Zay Flowers is their receiver. You can't name another receiver. Mark Andrews is the lion's share of the targets at tight end. Isaiah Likely is kind of an interesting player, but occasionally he brings it. But they've got Hall of Fame talent, and it's a desperate team playing for a win. We do have a caller here from Milwaukee. Let's go to Brian in the studio with a running back question for Gary.
No, Gary, I'm curious your opinion on Derrick Henry's fumbles this year, because he's had 4 fumbles. 3 of them, including the one he lost last night, were like game-changing, game-losing fumbles. So how do you reconcile not being able to hold on to the football in gigantic moments with having a Hall of Famer at running back who still is going to have a 1,500-yard season and score 15 touchdowns for you? Like, why can't he just hold on to the damn ball at this point in his career? Did you ever go through similar issues when you were playing?
So here's what you'll see. There's 2 positions. Old running backs and old quarterbacks will have a propensity to fumble the ball. They just can't hold on to it as well as they used to once they get old. They're just not strong enough. They just, over a period of time, they just can't take all those hits that they normally take. I mean, I think we went through a situation, we saw Aaron Rodgers at the end of his career here, where every time they got close to him, he would just fumble the ball. And I think Derrick Henry is in the same spot where he gets hit, and those things that he used to hold on to when he was younger don't work like that anymore. So I think that's just a product of players getting older and can't play as well as they used to. I hate to make it simple, but Father Time is undefeated.
Oh, it is kind of one of those interesting things. I understand what you're saying here, right? I mean, Derrick Henry is... You look at the Baltimore Ravens on the schedule coming to Green Bay in December, late December, and it's hard not to look at him and the way he runs and just the size and physicality he brings and say that guy is meant for cold weather running. Yeah. And they're going to see a lot he bailing out.
Cold weather wears you down.
They do not want to tackle that guy.
No, and
if they do,
at this age,
maybe not gonna.
And at this age, he do not want to get tackled either.
Well, there you go.
He doesn't want any more of that. There's only so much of that you can take. Do you remember? What was that? The Giants game, the playoff game, was that at Lambeau Field? The Brett Favre game?
The interception game, or one of his many.
Did you remember seeing him, how cold he was in that game? There was also a game in Soldier Field at the end of his career where the cold it just takes over you, and it's a young man's game. You can no longer perform.
Weather looks pretty good here for the week. It's not going to be typical frozen tundra, late December football in Green Bay. It's a pretty pleasant weather week, actually, here. Not a white Christmas, Gary. You're not going to have that. So I don't know whether it's going to be a real big storyline going into the game. But the Ravens, to your point, they don't look the same. On the schedule, beginning of the year, you look at this game and say, all right, well, between Denver and Baltimore, can you win one of those? Tough place to play in Denver. Tough opponent here. MVP caliber quarterback in Lamar Jackson, who has not had even close to an MVP caliber year. You see some Hall of Fame talent, and you always associate the Ravens with outstanding defensive play. Well, they ain't had that in a couple of years. That is a buried piece of their history right now. Mm-hmm. And it's just not the same. You could not get an inch on that team when they were really flying high with Ray Lewis and so on. Right. You needed an average quarterback to win a world championship, and they had it in Trent Dilfer. Mm-hmm. So it's very much a different team defensively that I think likes to run the ball. They like to get the ball in the hands of a guy like Zay Flowers, who's quick, he's dynamic, he's different. But what is scary about the Baltimore Ravens right now? Just given their state, desperate team with Hall of Fame talent, does that move it up the meter a little bit? And they got everything to gain here. They need need a win or their season is over.
Yeah, if you're the Packers, you got to get on them early and just take their will away, and then they'll go away. But if you kind of let them hang around like you did the Bears, you possibly can end up losing it. The Ravens, it feels like they're done. But if you give them an opportunity, I think they'll take it. The Packers got to come out right away and be ready to go no matter who the quarterback is. and put up some points. And that way, you force them into doing things that they don't want to do that plays into the hands of our defense.
I'll be curious to watch this game. It will be Saturday night, kind of a similar situation as we saw last week Saturday, being moved into a primetime slot. You got a team fighting for its playoff life in Baltimore. Packers hanging on to that number 7 seed. One win to lock up a playoff berth of their own. At a minimum, the number 7 seed. Still an outside chance they could move up to maybe the number 2 seed here with an NFC North Division championship. Quite a way to finish the year. It really is. It's been an interesting schedule here. You've got meaningful football games all over the place. I do want to take a deeper dive into the playoff schedule, what could be the playoff schedule here coming up in a few minutes, and also look at teams that are still in the hunt. And it's going to be a different complexion of teams in the postseason than we've come accustomed to watching here the last few years. Some will be the same, but we've got some new participants.
Is it still about 25 teams in the hunt still, I wonder?
Pretty close. It's pretty close.
That's crazy. 32 teams in the NFL.
It's pretty close to that. That might be a little high, but I think we're above 20.
Let's take a look at it.
All right, we'll do it. We'll do it after this.
Back with more on the green and gold after this on Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday. Greg Matzek, Gary Ellerson, the day after reaction show you need in your life.
Who benefits the most from Micah Parsons being on the field?
Secondary. Keyshawn Nix.
It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Mondays with Greg and Gary.
If you're a quarterback, you've got to get the football out of your hands before you really want to do it. I mean, everybody's getting their wealth with this, but to me, I think it's really the guys in the secondary.
Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios from 6 to 8 p.m. every Monday on 94.5 ESPN. The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Billy, your gas light's on. We need to stop and fill up.
No way, Jen. Gas around here is too expensive. We can make it a little further.
Billy, listen to your big sister. You don't need to drive all over searching for the lowest gas prices. Do what I do and use Upside.
Upside?
Do you live under a rock, Billy? Upside is the hottest cashback app out there. It's free to download, and you get real cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. I use it all the time, and I've already made around $200.
You can make that kind of cash back just for buying the gas you have to buy anyway?
Yes, I'm looking at the Upside app now, and there's a gas station at the next exit offering 25 cents per gallon cash back.
Okay, I'm stopping to download Upside and fill up my tank. Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code HAPPY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code HAPPY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code HAPPY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Ben Brust here, and let's cut the crap. I've been sold the lie with sportswear too. You pay a fortune for big name gear, a fancy logo, and a slogan, and it still stinks. Then I found Iron Jock, and now it's all I wear. It's built on science. Their silver ion technology is woven right into the fabric. It kills 99.9% of odor-causing bacteria, and it never washes out, ever. Right now, you can get 40% off your Iron Jock gear. Use code CHRISTMAS40. That's code CHRISTMAS40 for 40% off your order. Shop now at ironjock.com.
The holidays are full of moments worth saving. Family dinners, cozy nights, holiday parties that last all night, and Carbless makes every one of them better. Crisp, refreshing, and full of flavor, 0 sugars, 0 carbs, and only 100 calories and gluten-free. Carbless is the gift that keeps on giving. A guilt-free cocktail that never compromises on taste, turning every sip into a little celebration. This season, bring bliss to every holiday moment with Carbless. Full of flavor, no compromise.
Looking up at the Marquette banners, brought to you by Saganiac Planning. Number 15 retired in honor of Butch Lee. He finished in 78, and the number retired the next season. It's hard to believe that any player could ever equal what Butch Lee did at Marquette. Part of the national championship team in 77, and the Final Four MVP, and the next season, the consensus National Player of the Year. So much success, it's not necessary to bring up any statistics. Number 15, Butch Lee, did everything.
Running a business
business means taking care of your team and your bottom line. For over 50 years, Saganiac Planning has helped small businesses build smarter, more affordable medical and employee benefit plans. From health insurance to customized coverage options, our experts make it simple to protect your people and your future. Saganiac Planning, your partner in planning confidence. Visit SaganiacPlanning.com or call John Saganiac Jr. today to get started. 262-783-6161.
Whether it's breaking Packers news, breaking Bucks news, or breaking Brewers news, we are Milwaukee's place for the biggest sports stories right when they happen on 94.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app. This is Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Monday, live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios on 94.5 ESPN.
So the answer to the question is 18.
18?
What, Gary, is the question? If you want to go back to our Johnny Carson Karnak conversation.
How many teams are in the playoff hunt?
Yeah, 18.
18.
Well, now some are in, right? Some are locked in.
No,
but,
I understand.
You've got 18 total teams in the discussion, and only just a handful have been eliminated. Here are the teams eliminated.
So half.
The Giants, Cardinals, Commanders, Saints, Falcons, Cowboys, eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
In the AFC, the Raiders, Browns, Titans, Jets, Bengals, Dolphins, Chiefs, eliminated. You've got the sub-500 Ravens still alive and kicking in an AFC that could have a wild card team with 11 wins. Let that sink in for a second.
Yeah.
Right? I like that. It is a very interesting situation.
Absolutely.
And, part of the comical nature of the AFC is what's going on in the AFC East with Pittsburgh at 9-6, Baltimore at 7-8. Baltimore can catch Pittsburgh, but if Pittsburgh wins a game, it's done. It's done for the Ravens. They need to win out, and the Steelers would need to lose out. But right now, because of the strength of Denver and New England, combined record of 24-6, you've got teams like the Chargers at 11-4, hoping for a wild card spot, and the Bills at 11-4. Yeah, still a chance to win the division. Don't get me wrong, but right now occupying a wild card spot. The Houston Texans are 10-5, same position here as you've got the Jacksonville Jaguars at 11-4. So these division races, especially in the AFC, boy, it's separated by a game, are the teams that are currently occupying the top positions in their division, and the teams with 11 or 10 wins in the wild card position who could still win their division. The AFC is a scene, man. Like, this is crazy stuff. Really good teams right now.
That's what the NFL wants, right?
Yes.
So you've got everybody interested. You're watching these last 2 weeks, so that's half the teams have a chance of getting to the playoffs. It couldn't work out any better for them.
So not a lot
Every
different.
game matters.
It does. It absolutely does. And they've gone to the scheduling model in years past where there is a high concentration of division matchups at the end of the season, right?
Awesome.
For great reason.
Yeah.
For great reason.
The reason that we have now. I mean, although you don't want to see like the Packers and the Bears playing each other within two or 3 weeks, I don't necessarily like that. I like that to be spaced out a little bit more, but it makes for good theatrics, and especially when you got a rivalry like Packers and Bears.
So here's an interesting situation in the AFC, because you mentioned something, and I would agree with you. Twice in 3 weeks for division rivals, not my favorite.
Not my favorite.
You'd like that a little more spread out.
Yeah.
I like how it shaped up with the Packers and Bears playing late in the season.
Absolutely.
That's a must, and you'll see that with Minnesota, of course, to end the season. The real interesting situation is in the NFC South, with the Carolina Panthers and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, Carolina has sort of surged their way. And maybe that win over the Packers was sort of a launching point of their season where they started to look like a competent football team.
Believe.
And then you've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers who have gone the complete opposite direction. And a team that's battled through injury, and now they're healthy-ish, but still not chalking up wins. So the Buccaneers lose to the Panthers on Sunday, 23-20 the final. There are 2 games left in the regular season here for both teams. Carolina's got a matchup with Seattle, currently leading their division title, home playoff game in their sights. And then they close out against the Buccaneers. So you could get to a point where that final game of the regular season between Carolina and Tampa Bay is for the division. It's win and you're in, lose and you're out.
Right.
That the NFL loves equally.
No doubt about it. And when you start looking at things like that, it's not just those two teams. It affects other teams around you. I mean, i.e., when you go to watch the 49ers and the Bears next week, I mean, that affects seeding. So that's what you end up happening is seeding, whether you can get a home game or not. So that's where we're at with a lot of this stuff. So a lot of fans want to go and see their team play at home.
Saturday's game at Lambeau will be the final regular season home game for the Packers. And according to Gary from Buy or Sell, the Packers will also have a home playoff game because of your belief that they will win the division. But even if it's not, this team looks like there's going to be road contests, hopefully in its future, come postseason time.
I don't fear the Packers going on the road to win games. Now, I think it's going to be tougher because in the new NFL, I feel like home field advantage is way more than it's ever been. But I don't fear the Packers going on the road. Hell, they may play even better if they're in a dome somewhere or out on the West Coast. I don't fear any of those teams.
Well, places you may have to go include Chicago.
That's fine.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, fine.
Seattle.
Yeah.
San Francisco.
Love it.
Rams. The only team they wouldn't face, I don't believe, in any situation, I guess they could, would be Carolina or Tampa, like the NFC South division winner.
Yeah, it feels like they're out of it. Well,
to play the Packers in the first round.
Yes.
Of course, if the Packers win the division, that is certainly off the table. But, those matchups, I mean, all of those would be difficult teams to play, and in some respects, difficult locations to play. Teams that are still in it, does anybody scare you out of that group? Seattle, Chicago, Philadelphia, Carolina, Rams, Niners. And I'll throw a nod to the Buccaneers because they're still in it.
Not a one. They're all beatable. And I think that's the good part about it. Now, if you ask me who I think the best team, I still think the Rams are the best team, even though they lost to Seattle. But I think they're the best team. But I don't see a team like it was a couple years ago with Philadelphia. I thought they were like just the best team in the NFC. I don't think there's a team out there in the NFC where you look at it and say, well, you know what? We can't go to Philly and win. We can't go to Los Angeles and win. We can't go to Seattle and win. I think all those teams are beatable at their home stadium.
The only place that scares me, the place that scares me is Seattle.
Yeah, that because I think Sam Darnold is going to give you 5 chances to get a pick, and you got to get 3 of them.
What scares me about those teams are Jackson, Smith, and Jigba.
Yeah.
And then the combination of Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams.
Yes.
Packers can't cover that.
That team.
They cannot cover that.
The Rams, like I say, I think it's the best team in the NFC. No, hands down. But they're getting better defensively. Now, they just fired their special teams coach, was it yesterday or day before yesterday? That's absolutely crazy. That's unheard of at the end of the season like this. But their team, you're right, offensively with our corners, Lord help us.
That's a nightmare scenario for the Packers to have to try and guard those cats. Nobody can guard those cats. Look at their numbers this year. Matthew Stafford, the clubhouse leader here at Potawatomi Sportsbook, to win the NFL's
MVP
MVP
once
award.
Again, can be the smartest guy in the room, too.
Sure. No, I get it. Get a little too cute sometimes, right?
Yeah. Especially when he plays Matt LaFleur.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I get it.
The only guy that I think that really owns these guys is Shanahan. I don't think he gets involved in the smartest guy in the room kind of a deal.
Well, it's certainly come playoff time. Shanahan has had Matt LaFleur's number.
Yes,
there's no doubt about that.
Yes.
Both situations are interesting. If I look at the AFC, you still look at guys like the Bills, and it's been kind of a strange season for them. They're winning some shootouts, high pace, step on the gas. The defense, I think, has let them down a little bit, but that's still a team that would be a very tough out and a very tough place to play. I buy the Bills in New England more than I buy Denver, and I'm still not sure about Jacksonville. But these are the teams you're looking at, right? New blood in the playoffs this year. Out are the Chiefs. Likely out are the Lions. In are the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Chargers. And teams that you maybe haven't paid as much attention to. Potentially the Carolina Panthers. Who saw that coming at the start of the year, right?
And as you're doing that, out goes some great quarterback names, too.
Well, sure.
When you start flipping these teams. Absolutely. So now you got all these young quarterbacks that are not coming through, and all the old ones are going out to the wayside.
If the Packers lock up a playoff berth on Saturday night with a win over the Ravens, and they have no shot at winning the division, what do you do?
I'll rest the players. They're so banged up. They need rest in the worst way. Now, I don't know how you handle that. And in years past, I would say play your guys. I just sent a tweet out yesterday, and I got a lot of response. If you're a fan of the NFL, fans need to make their voice heard. You need to be sending something to anybody in the NFL, anybody would listen. We need at least 2 bye weeks. I don't know if you're watching these guys limp off the field, hurt. I mean, there are a lot of these teams, their injury roster is just unbelievable. Career-ending injuries where you're blowing your knee out, hurting your back. It's awful, and it's just awful watching football right now and watching these guys limp in and limp off, beating up themselves. So I think with that being said, 17 games really hurt these players more so than they thought. If you're going to go to 18 games, you got to have at least 2 bye weeks in there.
You know, there was a small window of time where the NFL had 2 byes, and I don't recall why it went away. That was 15, 20 years ago, maybe, right? I
remember that.
There was a small bit of time where the NFL experimented with a 2-bye system.
They start playing these Thursday games.
And that was likely part of it.
Yeah, and then you got a little bye on the Thursday game.
But they legit had 2 byes in the schedule.
I don't remember that, Greg.
Really?
No, I don't.
You're going to make me look it up now?
No.
When did the NFL have it?
Yeah, I don't remember that.
It wasn't a long experiment.
I trust you.
Well,
but with 18 games, you got to get 2 bye weeks to let these guys heal up, and I would expand the rosters as well. It's just ridiculous.
The NFL experimented with 2 bye weeks for every team during the 1993 season, expanding the regular season to 18 weeks to accommodate 16 games, but reverted back to the single bye week system in 1994 due to scheduling issues, television concerns, and a feeling that teams felt out of sync. 1-year trial in 1993.
So in 93 they did it.
I thought it was more recent than that, but yes, a 1-year trial, an experiment in 1993.
Yeah, and got away from that.
Yes, but I mean, if they expand to 18 games, there would have to be a second bye week.
You got to.
They may not. I don't think they'll do it until then.
Right.
But that is also coming.
Right. That's coming down the pipe. We already know that's happening. So.
We are out of time here at Potawatomi Sportsbook, but we will be back. We will be back on Monday night of next week. Again, a little about 48 hours removed from the Packers game against the Baltimore Ravens. Saturday night kickoff from Lambeau Field, and it may be the final home game of the regular season. Well, it is the final home game of the regular season. But who knows? There could be a postseason matchup at Lambeau.
Can't wait.
Seeing how things shake out. So Packers have the Ravens and Minnesota Vikings to close out the regular season. Bears have a tough matchup against the San Francisco 49ers, and they'll close out the regular season against the Detroit Lions, who might have everything to play for in that game. They might have nothing to play for in that game. That'll be interesting, and the result of Saturday night's contest could dictate what Detroit does the rest of the way. It's going to be a fun ride to the finish here, right?
Yeah,
this is crunch time. This is good stuff.
Yeah. And this is where you want your team to be.
Yes, in it.
You're in it. You got an opportunity to win it. You may not be the number 1 seed, but all you got to do is just get in. If you get in, you got an opportunity to get hot. I think this Packers team, they have a lot of weapons still, and they still could be one of the teams to beat once they're in.
Practice week begins tomorrow for the Green Bay Packers. On a Tuesday, we'll get a better sense of where Jordan Love is in the concussion protocol and how Malik Willis is dealing with his shoulder injury. All that to come here the rest of the week. Out of time from Potawatomi Sportsbook. Want to thank the fine folks here for hosting us each and every week. Come check us out at Potawatomi Sportsbook inside the beautiful Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee. We'll have much more coming up right after this on ESPN Wisconsin. Thanks to Gary Ellerson and Brian D. for producing the program. We'll check in again with you 1 week from tonight.
The NBA is happening Christmas Day. 5 games, 1 unforgettable lineup.
That's what Christmas is all about.
Buckets for breakfast, breakaways for dessert. It's the holiday tradition.
Christmas is our day.
With star power from across the globe.
The stars, they are going to be out.
The best gift, you don't even have to unwrap it.
We want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year!
NBA Christmas Day begins at noon Eastern on ABC and ESPN.
The holidays are always a wonderful time to get engaged.
And this is the perfect year to do it.
Really?
Why is that? We have a special collection of Double Dog Dazzling engagement rings for just $3,998.
Tell her what makes them Double Dog dazzling, Monica.
These bridal sets are covered in diamonds and have a 3-carat created diamond center stone.
Wow.
Or you can choose a 3/4 carat natural diamond for just $1,798. And Kessler's will contribute a free 14-carat gold mounting and mount your diamond in it for you.
Wow.
Or you can get 5 matching diamonds side by side that spread all across the top of your finger.
2 carats total weight.
5 big created diamonds in a ring that will rock the house. Tell her how much, Rick?
$1,998.
Wow.
You guessed it, Sarah. We call it the Wow Collection.
18 months financing at 0% is available.
To the location of the Kessler's nearest you and our holiday hours, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with an offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Tune in to KBN every day at 2 o'clock. Kyle Bruston Nortman. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Week 16 wrapping up on Monday Night Football with the Niners visiting the Colts. San Francisco 10-4, Indianapolis 8-6. Niners have won 4 straight. Colts have dropped 4 in a row, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive and an extra point away from tying things up. It's 14-13, 4:15 to go in the first half. What a night for Phillip Rivers in this first half. 10 of 15, 137 yards and a pair of touchdowns, playing in his second regular season game in the last 5 years. Already has thrown for more yards than he had a week ago in Seattle. Brock Purdy, 5 of 5, 68 yards and a pair of touchdowns. The Niners cashing in on a kickoff return fumble by Amir Abdullah. Christian McCaffrey, 5 carries, 26 yards, also finding the end zone through the air on the receiving end. Alec Pierce with a pair of touchdowns for Indianapolis. The game continues on ESPN and ABC TV. Elsewhere, DK Metcalf getting